Usyk Dubois, would that, of course, overskip a Joseph Parker fight? Let's say if that was to be revisited for the summer, providing Joe wins, of course.
I'll hand deliver the contract tonight.
Yeah.
Of course, listen, we all want to see the unification, but I want to see Joe come through. Joe's a Queensbury fighter as well.
Frank Warren isn't holding back. Daniel Dubois is in a tough spot, and the big question is whether Oleksandr Usyk will even consider facing him next. Warren made it clear that a Parker rematch isn't off the table, and if it happens in the summer, he's ready to personally deliver the contract. But everything depends on Parker's performance. Fans want the unification fight, but Parker's rise can't be ignored. One wrong move changes everything. Will Parker crash the party, or can Dubois reclaim his place? The division is a battlefield, and the war is far from over.
Why should it be Dubois Usyk? Why don't they step up and let him fight? But listen, I don't pay the money. It's not my, it's if they want that. But I don't like that. I think it's wrong. I think Joe should be given he'll get a fight.
Spencer Brown isn't holding back. He knows Joseph Parker is being sidelined, and he's furious. Parker just delivered a dominant performance, yet instead of getting the big fights, politics are keeping him out. Why aren't the top names stepping up? Why is he being ignored after proving himself in brutal fashion? Brown sees the manipulation for what it is. Boxing's usual backroom dealings at play. He's certain Parker's next big fight is coming, but the real question is, will the sport do the right thing or let corruption steal another fighter's moment? Drop a comment below and don't forget to like the video.
He says Usyk. He also says Dubois. I know you're in the conversation of Dubois Usyk. What do you do with your partner?
There's lots of things here to be done, and we will do them. I mean, there's no doubt about that. There's lots of... Sorry, I can't hear it. There's lots of things that we can look at, lots of permutations, and we'll get there at the end of the day with a really good fight for Joe. I mean, he's on the Queensbury.
Frank Warren didn't waste any time jumping into the conversation about Oleksandr Usyk's future. He made it clear that a huge fight is on the horizon, no matter what. With plenty of options available for Usyk, Warren knows exactly how to make it all work. He's not just talking, he's planning. Usyk is set for a top-tier showdown, and Warren is committed to ensuring it happens. As the head of Queensbury Promotions, Warren's focus is sharp. His fighters' futures are his priority, and Usyk's next big challenge is right at the top. The timing and strategy are in place, and the dream fight is closer than ever. The best is yet to come, and Warren is all in, making sure it becomes a reality.
What do you want to do next? Who do you want?
We will fight anyone. I will fight anyone.
We want the title. He deserves it. He's earned it here. Look, he said no to no one.
Yeah.
He took the biggest challenges out there. Now, the only thing left for him to do is fight for the titles. Everything else is a step down, so give him his chance.
Joseph Parker has made his intentions crystal clear. He's not here to take a back seat. After a grueling battle, he's ready to jump right back in with just a short break before chasing the biggest fights in the division. He's eyeing the champions, and he's not backing down. He's fought the toughest names, taken every challenge head on, and now there's only one thing left, a shot at the world title. He's calling out the biggest names, making it clear that he's ready for war. He refuses to be overlooked, and he knows he's earned his moment. The question now is, will the champions give him his rightful shot, or will they continue dodging? Parker isn't here for side fights. He's here for legacy. It's time the division recognizes what's coming. Could this be the fight that changes everything for Parker? Is he the true champion, or just a stepping stone?
I don't think the fight should have happened, if I'm honest. Like,
Do you think Parker should have been pulled, or someone who was
not Parker. I just feel like I don't think anyone did anything wrong. But you know, when you're representing Martin Bakole, you've got to ask yourself, right? For a long time, he struggled to get opportunities. Right now, he's found his way in Riyadh season. He's very well liked.
Eddie Hearn didn't mince words. He straight up questioned whether the fight should have even taken place. In his mind, it wasn't a matter of Parker being pulled, but there's a deeper issue lurking beneath the surface. Hearn pointed out that when you're representing someone like Martin Bakole, you have to ask yourself some hard questions. It's not about placing blame, but the entire situation raises eyebrows. Was Bakole in the best condition to fight? Was there a lack of consideration for his preparation? Hearn's words suggest a lot more than what's being said on the surface, hinting that things might not have been as clean as they seem.
Yes, because it was a voluntary, and it wasn't mandatory. It was like, here's an opportunity. He still got paid for the fight. He had an easy fight, easy win. He gets to keep going. So yeah, it is in quote fair. But I would probably, if I was Parker, I'd be upset. At the same time, as a champion, you kind of, unless you're mandated, you kind of get to choose what you want to do.
Moreover, Lawrence Okolie didn't hold back when addressing the situation, calling it what it is. Joseph Parker had a voluntary opponent, not a mandatory one, meaning the advantage was always in his hands. On the other hand, Parker may feel frustrated with how things played out, but as a champion, that's just how the game works. Parker got paid, secured an easy win, and moved forward without taking damage. So from a strategic standpoint, it's a win-win. But does that make it fair? That's where the debate begins. A champion gets to call the shots unless the governing bodies force a fight, and that leaves plenty of room for controversy. Was this just a smart business move, or did Parker get an undeserved free pass? Okolie recognizes both sides but makes it clear. Boxing is as much about strategy as it is about skill.
He was supposed to get it tonight, and he will get it, 100%. And I'm rooting for him to become two-time champion of the world. It's not an easy feat. It's one thing, like, he was there, he was on the door of it today, in terms of with the Dubois fight, but it shows you how tough it is. It ain't just like how good are you, it's the stars have got to align. Just to get that champion in the ring takes a bit of like luck as well, so I'm sure his time will come.
Anthony Joshua's words reveal his unwavering support for Parker. He's confident that Parker will eventually become a two-time world champion, despite the tough challenges. Joshua understands how difficult it is to reach that level. It's not just about being good enough, it's about everything falling into place. He knows firsthand how many factors come into play, from stars aligning to the right opportunities appearing at the right time. While Parker was close to that goal during the fight with Dubois, Joshua believes his time will come. The journey to becoming champion isn't easy, but Joshua has no doubt that Parker will get there eventually.
I think he would give Oleksandr Usyk plenty to think about and plenty he could deal with. He seems to be hitting a bit harder these days as well. So Joe Parker versus Usyk, it would be an interesting fight. I've never seen it, so I really could think, okay, anything could happen. It's heavyweight boxing. Parker is a very, very good heavyweight.
Joseph Parker could seriously make Oleksandr Usyk rethink his entire game plan. Parker's power has been on a steady rise, and it's becoming more evident with every fight. Lately, he's been hitting harder than ever, and that could give Usyk plenty to think about. A matchup between these two heavyweights would be a true spectacle, with Parker's raw strength facing off against Usyk's technical brilliance. Parker has always been a solid heavyweight, but now with that newfound power and confidence, he's a completely different fighter. It's a fight that has all the makings of a classic, one that could absolutely shake up the heavyweight division. If Parker brings his best game, he might just deliver the upset everyone's been waiting for.
You know, you have more than enough potential to do so. You know, potential bout with Usyk. What are your thoughts on that?
Man, I'm chasing unification fights, you know what I mean? Anyone that gets in the way of that, that's all got to fight. So, you know, all this other talk and stuff like that, it's just words, you know, unless I see contract. I'm struggling to get a unification fight.
Jai Opetaia isn't wasting time on empty talk. He's chasing unification, and nothing else matters. He's tired of hearing the same old discussions with no real action. Every day that passes without a contract is another day the division is avoiding him. He's not here to play games. He wants the biggest fights, and he's ready to sign the moment the opportunity presents itself. But where's the contract? Why is it so hard to get the fights that actually mean something? He's watching the politics unfold, knowing that all the back and forth means nothing until pen meets paper. If the division wants real champions, then they need to step up, stop dodging, and make the fights happen. Until then, the so-called challengers are just names on a list, waiting to be crossed out. Who's really ready to fight, and who's just talking to stay relevant?
The fact that he touched his glove let him know, like, hey, chill out. I'm just calm. I'm not in the best shape. You know, it kind of let him know what pace he was about to go at. You know what I'm saying? He didn't have that same energy that he did for Jared Anderson. You know what I'm saying? There's other guys that he was going to steamroll him until he got in there and he got warm. And I think that was a great plan.
Michael Hunter reflected on a pivotal moment in the fight where his opponent tried to set the tone right from the start. By touching gloves, Hunter subtly let his opponent know he wasn't in top shape, but was prepared to control the pace of the fight. This move wasn't just about signaling weakness. It was a calculated strategy, a way to tell his opponent exactly what they were walking into. Unlike his previous high-energy encounters with fighters like Andy Ruiz and Jared Anderson this time, Hunter was patient and measured. His opponent, thinking they could overwhelm him, quickly realized that Hunter had a plan. As the fight went on, Hunter found his rhythm, warmed up, and turned the tables, using his opponent's lack of preparation against them. It was all about sapping their energy early, leaving them gasping for breath and relying only on their stamina. If you enjoyed this breakdown, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe for more.